All right, guys, we're gonna bring up your first comedian of the night. Are you excited? All right, he was born in Kenora, Ontario. He makes his home here in Vancouver, BC. Please welcome Patrick Maliha.
How's the hair? Is the hair good?
Yeah, it looks all right. Yeah, do this.
It looks all right. Oh no. I think that's as good as it's going to get, which is really unfortunate. But what can you do? Hi, I'm Patrick Maliha. I'm from Vancouver, and I have a family. Vote for me! I hope if I don't make it through, which is most likely, believe it or not, I was not good with the ladies because of this thing. I found out that if you had a sense of humor, that some girls might be interested who had low self-esteem and who were in a shame spiral. I would describe my stand-up style as a combination of Don Rickles meets XXX Ray Romano. But my one claim to fame, other than being a nice and lovely boy, according to my mom, is I hold the world record for most impressions in 1 minute, and I beat out Dana Carvey, who held the previous record. In the States, if you hold a world record, you get movies and Saturday Night Live. And in Canada, you get to do a TV show where you hope to compete for some money to pay for your children's diapers. I get the inspiration for my material just from day-to-day life. I have to honestly say that probably the best thing that happened to myself personally and career-wise is having children. It gave me a different outlook on life. I do things now for my kids and for the betterment of my family, which is why I started selling meth. If I could say one thing to the other contestants, it would be this. Remember why you're doing this competition. You haven't made it yet. You have nothing to offer anyone. Your parents didn't love you, and that's why you're on stage trying to gain the acceptance of a room full of strangers within a 5-minute period. You have nothing to offer. Don't even try. I have a family. If I win and I get the $10,000, I'm going to cash that check, take the money in 20s, and throw it at my wife's vagina. I'm kidding. I'm going to spend it on bills. I have no money.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I feel good to be here. I recently got back from the U.S. and how many people here have been to the U.S. recently? By applause? By applause? There you go. Really? 12 people? Canadian dollars above par. 12 people go. The rest of us as Canadians are just, I don't know. The U.S.-Canada border's still dangerous. They're still a little crazy, and if you're not careful at that border, they'll look up your bum just for shits and giggles. And I hope this time they just find giggles. What? But I was down in the U.S. with my wife, and I am married. Sorry, fellas. And a couple of guys. It's always the best one. Son of a bitch. Couple of guys. Do you think there's gonna be a guy there who looks like Balky if he let himself go with a Justin Bieber haircut? That's right. I made a reference to a TV show that went off the air before some of you were even born. That's how current I am. My references arrive in a DeLorean. And he's like, whatever you do, Marty, nothing contemporary. I don't know why Doc Brown sounds Jewish, but, Doc, do you think we're gonna get the DeLorean up to 88? Where we're going, Marty, we don't need roads. But we'll use them because when you fly, it's so dangerous. Oh my gosh, you gotta go get a crash. We'll cut that part. And, but I was down in the U.S. With my wife, and we're hanging out, and we encountered a guy who was racist towards us because we were Canadian, which was the most bizarre thing I'd ever happened in my life. The guy actually said, and I thought he was going to be racist towards us because of my ethnic background. I thought because my father's originally from the Middle East, Thunder Bay, and a couple of Americans. What part of Iraq is that, Bay? Get him! Sound dangerous. It's where the thunder is. But before I continue, do we have any Americans here? By the way, do we have any Americans here? Oh, yeah. The whole room full of Canadians is looking. Do we have any Americans here? They look just like us. That's how they hide. But, so anyway, so the guy actually says to me, he's like, man, I don't like you Canadians. You come down here, you take all our good jobs and bang our women. I'm like, where does that lineup start? My wife's like, what's going on? I'm like, hey, I've got an amazing deal on a sweet job with killer fringe benefits. Don't ruin it. So then I'm not making this up. The guy actually then says to me, he's like, you want to hear a Canadian joke? And I'm like, no, this is why people don't like you. What the fuck is wrong with you? But of course, I'm a Canadian in the US, so what I actually said was, I'd love to hear a clever joke at my expense. Yay! $20. Kick me in the nuts. My birthday. And my wife is like, what are you, mental? What's going on? And I'm like, Sweet pea, we're Canadians in the US. They have guns. We have opinions. Do as he says. So anyway, so the guy says, I go, yes, please, tell me your Canadian joke. Nothing would please me more than to fucking get made fun of. And so the guy goes, all right. He's like, how do you get 100 Canadians out of a public swimming pool? I'm like, I don't know. How do you get 100 Canadians out of a public swimming pool? He's like, boom. Your attention, please. The pool is now closing. And the fact that 12 of you laugh proves his point right there. Just a room full of Canadians looking at me, just... So why wouldn't you get out of the pool?